Coach, any update on Evan Rodriguez?
Not yet. He's not ruled out, but not cleared to play, so he's still being looked at.
In the last two games, what have you liked from the fourth line? I know they didn't get to play much last night, but how did they maximize that time?
Well, probably the same thing that you want from all your lines, but you're looking for predictability when they go on the ice, that they have a cohesion of style of game and positioning, running their routes. They've been, but I'll say it again. It's not just they've kind of come on here. They had an incredible month for us at the end of the season. We had all those injuries. Those guys got to play consistently together. And so they kind of look like they did in the regular season. They're clearly excited to be in the lineup and to be helping the cause. They've been very good.
You said last night you thought Sasha Barkov's okay. Anything new on that front?
No.
Did it stay that way?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. And your thoughts, Max only got a $5,000 fine. Any thoughts there on
I
that?
got nothing. I got no thoughts today. It's not my job. We got other people do that job.
And a little bit about the way that ended, though. Does that add maybe a little? I mean, it's a best of three series. I would think that it's going to be pretty intense anyway. But could it add a different element?
No, they won't. The hockey's the most important thing. We've had bigger dust-ups at the end of games, and I've seen them on TV too. It's not just always our team. So away we go.
Yeah, Paul Berube was asked about the Domi play, and he said that he felt the Kulikov elbow on Marner was 10 times worse. What do you make of that? Is that the normal kind of politic you'll see in a series with coaches and the officials, or did Kulikov get away with one?
I don't care. Puck's going to drop. I mean, everybody has an opinion. Mine right now is it's the day after a game, but 2 days away from our next, and I don't really have anything for you. Yeah, it's fine.
Berube said he felt his team was the more physical team in the last game.
Okay.
As you review it, is that an area, like, first of all, do you see it that way? Is that an area where you guys can be even better in the next game?
I didn't notice it. If you would, this is not directed at you, but if you've watched the games, the playoff games that we've played over the last 2 or 3 years, the two Boston series were the two most physical series I have ever seen in my life, and nothing that we have played, which includes our team, compares to those two series. So I didn't come off the bench going, oh, that was game 2 in the Tampa series. It was nasty. I didn't leave the bench last night feeling that was exceptionally physical or under physical on our part. It wasn't a piece of the game that I was processing.
You mentioned yesterday where
Don't you guys feel it's kind of a rainy day today? It's a little bit rainy. We spent a lot of energy last night. We don't really need a whole lot of energy for 2 more days. It's kind of a mellow day today. And then you guys got a job to do, right? Doesn't it? So like you're still working. I'm floating right now. You're working, so you need stuff. Just telling you, probably not getting a lot today. Go ahead, and we can do it. Give it your best shot.
you mentioned last night where you think Matthew is. What has this road been like for him?
I think his last game was his best. I think his last 3 games that he's played have been the best that he's played in the playoffs. I think he has an incredible ability to adapt his game, and I think he was doing that in the Tampa series, almost straight through the Tampa series. But he is back. I thought last night, I didn't see him adapting his game last night. It'd be glimpses from the bench where he'll move differently or release a puck earlier or do something or give himself another foot of ice just to cover off a change in direction, something like that. And then I didn't see any of that last night, so I think he's back and right. George, you can do it.
I got a good one.
I'm waiting for it. Is it the hat? Does the hat have something to do with it?
No.
Okay.
Without giving up too many secrets, what do you think was
Well,
the
you're
biggest
pretty
difference?
safe today. It's like, yeah.
Hey, what's the biggest difference where you guys feel like you were able to handle your business yesterday and shutting them out?
Yeah, the game from behind the bench is so much different than the game on TV or in the stands, right? Like it is incredibly fast. And you never are that far out of it or feel that you have control. Like the 8 teams that are left all have just this high-end talent. So you feel good about your game because one guy gets a stick on a puck that's shot that doesn't pick the corner and it goes off the glass and you don't notice it, but everything else is identical. The effort, the compete, the battle, it's all there, and it's the smallest change of directions. It's 1 or 2 breaks that changes the whole complexion of what happens after that. So there's no secret, there's no momentum. It's a grind shift after shift, and I want to be on the right side of all the good things that happen, and not on the, like at both teams have had the strangest pucks go in their net, right? So I'm happy we won. That'll be about the extent of the joy in that. We played hard, we played well. I'm happy that we won. I think I understood our game a little better from the bench. I'm still going, I'll take my time and do the video today, so I've only done 1 period so far. Yeah, it was good. You know, and you got out of bed and you had questions and you worked at your day and you came here and asked a solid, good question and you got feathers from me. So this is a coach's day off today. We get them too.
Well, to that point, so
There
you
we
guys
go.
have been playing every other night. Now you get 2 days
Yeah.
off in between the games. I know you're not a big momentum guy, but
Yeah.
would you rather continue that trend, or is these 2 days off good for even yourself?
I've liked the 2-day blocks off in series as long as it's not, I think it's fair. Toronto gets to capture the same kind of rest that we do because they get to go home. I don't like the 2 days off on the road, right? I think that puts the road team sometimes at a disadvantage, that you got 2 off days on the road. You don't recover the same way as you recover at home. So I think it's fair for both teams. I think they both get the exact same bump. They fly today, we fly tomorrow. So I think it's good. I think it's good for the quality of hockey. I think it's getting toward the end of the series for sure, right? There's, for one team, 2 to 3 games left. So we're going to get the energy level will amp as this goes. So it's good. It's fair.
Coach, understanding both teams took care of their home games, where you were heading into Game 3, potentially going down 3-0, to where you are now, is far different. Do you feel the energy, momentum, whatever you want to call it, change now that it's 2-2?
I think that both teams flip-flop pressure in the first 4 games, right? We start there, they get the 2, those are big, right? They get their business done. The pressure was all on us in Game 3 because you don't want to go down 3-0 to any of these 8 teams that are left, right? So now I think that it's just flat and it's all energy. There's no pressure coming into this next game. It's all energy, right? It's anybody who's banged up or's got an injury is not looking, I got to play 12 more of the games like this. It's max 3 for one team, so it'll be all good.
One more for me. How different is, because this group has been through pretty much every conceivable scenario the last 3 years, being down, how has your job changed in terms of any motivation or tactics, being that you guys have been through the wars the last couple of years?
Well, I don't think you check the temperature of your team quite as much. You have a pretty good, but it's mostly you get to know the men, right? You get 3 years with the guys, you know who's coming in smiley today, who's shammered, who's real quiet today, so you get to know your men. And then if you have a really young team, you're kind of checking that temperature all the time, getting to a lot of guys, I guess. And this is part of my day to day. We say handle our day. This is a quiet day for us today. Everybody's come in. We're going to do their rehab. They're going to have a good meal. The music's not blasting. It's just everybody's having this kind of day because we know it'll be a little bit more wired tomorrow. You can feel the next day coming and you just amp up for game day.
We talked to Gary Bettman on Friday, talking about this market and just hockey in Florida as a whole. Last night when you guys scored, felt like the roof was going to blow off this building. You've been coming here a long time. You remember when it was you and your friends, right? I mean, how much, I mean...
Yeah, like we started in, was it Miami Arena? Is that what it's called? I don't know if you remember the ice in that place. It's the only NHL game played in a sauna. It was like we would have guys getting IVs after the game because it was tough, right? And this is not just the Florida Panthers, but it was true of Tampa too. And I'm in Carolina at the time. You get the jumbotron feed for your video breakdown. So you never saw a face-off. You got the mouse and the rat, and you got every pretty person in the building, and then it wasn't they cut to it. They would just take the camera and zoom down and then kind of follow it around. And that was your video. Like, nobody knew we played. And it's changed now. I mean, it's a thriving market. I'm walking out of the rink yesterday between I walk home, so I ran into this young family. They had 4 young kids. And, you know, the 8-year-old plays hockey now, and then the girl plays hockey too. And that's kind of how it starts. Right, and then we've got this fantastic facility here, so you see more youth programs starting, and that's the groundswell when the kids start. So there's a whole chunk of people from last year that have this kind of incredible family memory. It's not really the Panthers, it's what their family did in relation to us winning, right? Like superstitions, people coming over to the house, all that, and they get to keep that. And these kids grow up in that, right? Florida Panther fans, and then they start playing hockey. And then you have a base. It's a little bit like that Carolina idea. When we went in there, she's pretty thin for a while. And then they had some success. So now the kids start, but now they get more hockey rinks. Now they are almost generational, right? When a mom and dad take the 5-year-old to a game, they go off to school. They go to school as Florida Panther fans, or they're going to university in Boston, and that's great. And they come back, and then their kids start coming. I think that's here. It feels like it's here.
Just the noise, though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. We score. I mean, I get different senses. Sometimes you notice a noise, and then you will ask me that question. It's a little version of the question Mark asked about the physicality. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff you don't process behind the bench because you're solely focused on something else. You know when I'm talking to you, George, sometimes, and you zone right out because you're thinking about something else all the time. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So that kind of happens behind the bench too. You're focused on something in the neutral zone, and you're kind of playing, and you miss. The crowd was good, heard the noise, but you don't hear that noise the entire game. I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about the bench experience. And there'll be things in the game, Mark, that you go back and look at and say, yeah, there was more there than I thought was there. But it wasn't changing anything in the game, so I didn't need to focus on it behind the bench. There was something more important going on over here. So not trying to be flippant or casual with the questions that you asked. I just didn't process that as an important piece to the game.
Coach, the Checkers advanced the other night. You've coached
Yeah.
a lot of those guys. Why is it such a good experience for them, and are you excited for them?
Well, we're watching the game before our game. And at one point, the shots are like 28-8, and they got the lead. And the young guy's coming up to the red, and he doesn't get it deep. And I'm going, oh, you got to get that puck deep. And it's in the net, and now the game's on. So really exciting for him. Fun for us, too, because I know a whole bunch of those names, right? These guys are at training camp. What's good for us is those guys are playing meaningful hockey while we are. If they're out early and they're kind of in that Black Aces group, it's good for them, but it's not the same thing. So, the longer both teams can play, the better it is for job security for all of us.